the right fit. So each school has a unique personality. It is your son or daughter's job to figure out what that personality is. All right? It's a lot like dating. All right? You have to sort of get to know the other person, you know, what are their interests, what are their strengths, what are their non-strengths, all right? And you have to actually go to the university when there's students on the campus to get a true sense of the character, because students are the lifeblood of the university, right? Many people know that in the abstract, but they don't make it a priority to visit schools when schools are in session so they can actually feel the vibe of the campus, okay? So in looking for the right fit, you have to ask yourself, what's important to you? High-end academics, big-time sports, okay? Research opportunities, being in a big city, being in a small city, being outside the city, okay? Being in the boondocks, right? How about brand name? How important is that to you? It's important to a lot of people, okay? But also keep in mind you want to open the search, especially parents. One of the things that's really kind of great and exciting right now about the college admissions process is that schools 20 years ago that you may not have considered are actually fantastic today. And the reason why that's the case is because the population boom in the last 25 years. More and more students are applying to college. And Harvard and Yale are not adding 1,000 beds for Milburn students every single year, right? They're keeping their class sizes relatively the same. So what's happening is you have all these candidates competing for these spots. They don't get in, they come down to the next level. And so the education that you could have gotten at the higher end school can now be gotten at the next tier school 10 years later. So like for example, back when I was going through the process, to get into Harvard with SAT scores, it was like 1450, okay? Boston College was like 1250, 1300. Northeastern was like break 1,000 and you're in. These days, Harvard's like 1550, 1560, 1600 on the old scale, right? Or what's going to be the new scale. Boston College is like 1450. Northeastern is now 1250, 1300. So the education that you got at Boston College, 15, 20 years ago can now be gotten at Northeastern. So I'm saying this because oftentimes parents don't consider certain schools because they wouldn't have considered them when they were going through the process, when in fact those schools are now fantastic. In fact, I choose Northeastern as an example because it's become like the hottest school in America, right? Not only for domestic, but also for international clients. Okay, so again, open the search. And it's really a question of where will you thrive? Not what's like the best school, but where will you thrive? So I went through the college process. I visited 35 universities, drove my parents crazy, okay? I only applied to 4 schools. Duke, Emory, Boston College, and SUNY Binghamton, okay? I had my choices. I chose Boston College. And people were often surprised by that because it's like the 3rd best school on the list. Okay? Duke and Emory are stronger schools according to the league tables, right? But the thing is, I knew when I set my foot down that campus, I felt like I was home. And I felt like Boston College was going to give me the best experience for what I wanted based on what was important to me at the time. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, okay? So sometimes it's less about like the best school and really more about fit. All right? Trust your gut. In a process that's all about numbers and quantitative data and reputation and what we want to say at cocktail parties. Our gut often tells us where we should be and what we should be doing.